welcome to Piano Video Tutorials with Chantelle Elizabeth. Hi! Today we are going to be looking at a beautiful song written by Jan Tiersen from a film called Amelie. And I love this piece and I adore the film. It's absolutely beautiful. You should go out and watch it instantly after you've finished doing this tutorial and done a little bit of practice on the piano. This video is to help my students with this piece, but also for anyone else that wants to learn this. I think that this is a really lovely piece to have in your repertoire. A lot of people know it. It's actually quite simple. And it has layers of complexity that express 4 chords in a beautiful way, which means that when you come to put 4 chords together of your own, you can explore the different ways of making 4 chords sound more interesting and therefore increase the complexity of your music and totally impress your friends with just 4 chords. Or even 3, but using the same techniques. So the techniques we're going to look at are inversions of chords and broken chords. So quite quickly, I'd just like to point out that the little version I was playing at the beginning was a simplified version, and that's what we do now. I've made a bit of a simplified version to teach to my students, or I've made a simplified arrangement so that it allows them to learn these musical concepts that are quite fundamental to music. So I'm going to start by showing you what an inversion is, which I hope I can explain really concisely for this video. So I'm going to use the first chord of this song that we're going to be learning, which is going to be E minor, and that is E, G and B. So if you were to invert this chord, you take the bass note out of this chord and you move it up 1 octave. And change your hand position to suit. In this scenario, we're going to then play G, B, E. That is an inversion. It's the first inversion of E minor. So the second inversion takes the G bass note, moves it up 1 octave, moving your hand along and so it feels comfortable when you play. I play with my 5th, my 2nd and my 1st finger, although it is a thumb, and I do know that, but in piano we call the 1st finger the thumb, or the thumb the 1st finger. And then you're going to play, the second inversion of this chord is B, E and G. The second inversion. If you take the B bass note and move it up 1 octave, what you have is the original chord, E minor, played 1 octave higher. That's inversions, okay? There's lots of different ways that you can use them. That's the basic description of inversions. So then a broken chord, even simpler, is basically a chord that's broken up into its individual notes, but played in succession. So we have E minor chord, and a broken E minor chord goes, and quite often you would finish with the E from the next octave. Okay. So we're going to start learning this track. I'm going to break it into parts, and I might make 2 videos in order to do that. We're going to really get you started on a very, very simple, in a very simple manner by just practicing the bass line. Now in the original song the bass line uses 2 octaves, and it's a little complicated, but when you've got this song in your muscle memory, then you can learn this part and add it in later. But this is the bass line in the original song. I'm going to take out this top note because it's difficult for some people to get that stretch and get the timing right on that, whilst you've already got to think about the right hand. And what you want is a song that you can play and love and enjoy and get like a level of mastery of it, so that it's your relaxing song, something you sit down and play and enjoy. The doors open and the garden booming its spring life at you. So we break it down to just 3 notes. Okay, so I'm going to teach you that pattern and it's quite simple, and I'll try and say the notes as I'm playing, but I do stumble over that a little bit. So the broken chord bass line goes E, B, G, B, E, B, G, B, and repeats twice. And this pattern repeats through all the chords that we're going to learn in this song, and repeats for the entire song. Your left hand is just doing that over and over again. So once you've got this, you want to be able to play this very freely, almost sometimes close your eyes while you're playing it. Your hand's never going to move anywhere from this position. So it's a lovely thing to get used to. I'm going to play I'll tell you what the chords are first, and then we're going to play through them all using that pattern. We have E minor, G major, but it's an inversion of G major, we'll talk about that later, B minor, an inversion of B minor, and D major, okay? That's the chord progression. I'll play that again. Okay, I'm going to play it as it is in the song, and I will break it down after I've done this in much slower and with the notes named. Okay, that's the pattern that just goes on and on and on and on. So slowly now we go E, B, G, B, and notice that my hand barely has to move, and every time you only change one note. D, B, G, B, D, B, F sharp, B, D, A, F sharp, A. So I want you to practice that. I want you to practice that and get really fluid with it. And pay attention to how your hand feels and how your hand moves in it. And again, each time you're only going to change one note, and you play the pattern twice. Change chord by changing only one note. Change again. Good, so take a little time to practice that and get fluid with it. If you are quite comfortable already with playing left and right hands, then the next stage for me to teach you is to just getting used to having your two hands going while that's going. I want you to just play out the chords in this hand, and while you're doing that, pay real attention to which notes you're playing each time. So you're going to play the chord as you play the broken chord in the left hand. Like so. And practice that and get really, again, really like make it flow and flow into each other each time. So the biggest thing will be transitioning back up to the E minor chord after you've played the last D major chord. So after that, just to add another layer of complexity, because that's what this is about, this piece. While I'm teaching it, I'm teaching different layers of complexity, adding in hands, teaching the chords, adding different hands in, teaching a melody that's slightly that doesn't sit quite as comfortably in the timing, which really pushes my students to going on to being able to talk about inversions and the use of inversions with broken chords to make a beautiful song. So then to add another layer of complexity, you would jump the octaves, which means your eyes have to move from this hand. So this hand should be able to play a little bit without looking. So here we go, this is the next stage. Don't rush yourself when you're first learning it. Once you're starting to get it, what I find can be fun is if you play it as fast as you can and then slowly again, and sometimes play really fast and then slow, and that kind of, when you play fast you're thinking about different things, when you play slow you're thinking about different things. So this in your practice is kind of good fun, but don't try to just play fast because you think it sounds more interesting. Take your time over notes, sound them out, and have loads of fun. I'm going to come back in another video to teach the next sections of this song, and I hope that was really useful. Okay, bye!